Hello, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Inside Wfisd Athletics. This is podcast number 12. My name is MJ Baird, KFDX3 sports reporter, alongside the WFISD multimedia specialist, the voice of Memorial Stadium and Legacy High School, Chad Johnson. Chad, what's going on, my friend? It's been a couple of weeks since we recorded.
It has been a couple of weeks. I had a little procedure last week, so it kind of shut us down.
And Thanksgiving holiday, of course,
Thanksgiving
as well.
holidays. Good to be back, though. Excited to talk. Can you believe we're already talking soccer?
I can
mean,
believe
it's crazy. Like, we're already here at soccer season.
Football ends. We're already in basketball, and then soccer picks right up. So what better time to talk to some soccer coaches than the beginning of soccer season? Gentlemen, welcome to Inside WFISD Athletics. We have Dustin Hawley, the Legacy boys soccer coach, and Carl Wiersma, the Legacy girls soccer coach. Welcome, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. We're happy to have you on the show. Mic adjustment, Chad. Good call. I could do it over here too. That's a good point. I guess, Chad, let's kind of jump right in with these two guys as far as they know each other because they've worked with each other before Legacy High School. I want to let them tell the story, but let's hear from these guys as far as episode number 12 because that's always where we like to start. Guys, I'm a New England Patriots fan. And yes. If you didn't know, and there is one player in the history of sports who wore number 12 who is far better than anybody else by my estimation.
TB, Terry Bradshaw.
Tom Brady, the GOAT. Chad, who else wears 12?
Do you guys have any? You think of any off the top of your
I
head?
knew he was going to do Tom Brady, so I was going to go old Broadway Joe, old Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Not as good as
There's
Tom
a
Brady.
lot of good quarterbacks that wore number 12.
Yeah.
Some of the ones I found, and I cheated. Did you have anybody?
No.
Any of your? Do you know your players' number 12s by chance?
Not a new one.
Just issue.
Yeah, just same thing. Yeah.
So Roger Staubach,
Okay.
John Stockton, Jim Kelly. Here's one for you that I found, and I cheated when I found this. Michael Jordan wore number 12 for one game.
Does that count?
He got his jersey stolen, so he had to wear number 12, scored 49 points that night.
That's pretty good.
And then I did find some soccer guys for you guys.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Thierry Henry,
Yeah,
Okay.
he was good.
Marcelo Vieira, is that right?
Okay.
Alexandro, and Lauren Cheney, who later married Drew Holiday, didn't know that, for the women's national team.
Yeah.
So some pretty good.
Isn't number 11 like the big number in soccer?
I thought it was 9.
Or
Is it
9?
9 or 10?
9, 10,
Nine,
those
10.
numbers.
That shows you what I know. Nothing.
Like Mia Hamm wore 9, right?
Yes.
And then Pele wore, did he wear 9 or 10?
He was 10.
10.
I care about number 12 from the Patriots. That's all. What can I say? I'm biased. That's all it is.
Or number 12,
Sure, the guy wins
Shedeur
7.
Sanders.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Carl, what were you saying about my guy? You want to talk him up? I'll let you.
So he wins 7 Super Bowls, and now you're on his bandwagon?
No, I've been there since like the third one, okay?
Okay.
Ever since.
Now, and to be fair, MJ was probably born after the first one.
I was born in 97, Chad.
Okay, so he was around for the first one then. But he was what, 4?
Yes.
Yeah, so-
2001 against what, the Rams?
Yeah.
Before we go any further, getting into some WFISD soccer talk, let me do a quick ad read here as we thank our sponsor from Macaulay Landscapes, proudly serving Wichita Falls for over 2 decades now. Their services include lawn maintenance, landscaping, irrigation repair, and so much more. You can visit them online at MacaulayLandscapes.com or pick up the phone and give them a call, 940-632-5346. They can help you with all your lawn care and landscaping needs. Inside WFISD Athletics relies on Macaulay Landscapes, and you should too. That's a perfect transition, Chad, because the namesake behind Macaulay Landscapes, Mr. Patrick Macaulay, former WFISD soccer coach, and here we have 2 of the current ones with us today.
Teammate of Dustin Hawley, was he not?
Teammate. Good
Yes.
dude.
How about
So,
that?
We love Patrick.
I'm not sure if I knew you guys were teammates.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Okay, so I guess that's a first place to start. Coach Hawley, we're going to start with you. We're going full screen. Tell our viewers, who are you? How'd you get to where you are today? What's the Dustin Hawley family story?
Oh, family story. As we go, we went to Ryder, played at Ryder 99 to 02, was a member of that state championship team in 2000, and then moved on to play at Hardin-Simmons for a couple of years before I got hurt and came back to Wichita Falls and started coaching, and then left. I started at MSU with Jeff Trimble on the women's side as his goalkeeper coach. And then I moved off to Texarkana for 10 years and I was at Texas High big 5A there. Got the girls program going, and we had it going pretty well out there. And then when Josh Hill left, I got the phone call to come back home to be the Rider head boys coach, and I got to do that, I think, for 6 or 7 years, and it was fun. And then now we're at Legacy building that up, and it's been a good time.
So backtrack just a little bit. You know, we all know what our rivalry was like, the Big Rider Old High rivalry, and then Legacy Memorial getting there. You were in Texarkana. What was that Texarkana, that Arkansas-Texas rivalry like?
That was good. It was not. It was very different from a Rider Old High, just because it was 2 states. But it was. I think I've been very fortunate to be part of those 2 things because we played them in every sport, and it was a very, like, our AD was like, we don't lose to Arkansas High. Like, that's who you beat. I mean, even though it was girls soccer, and he was like, we will own them and everything. And it was fun. So I actually watched they played basketball the other night, and I think Arkansas beat Texas High in overtime. So, but it's been good. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll dig more into that in a second.
And before you move on, family, give a little shout out to your family.
Yes. My wife Erin and my son Jackson. Then we have my side of the family small with my dad and my grandma still here. So, but
does Jackson play goalkeeper as well?
Jackson is a goalkeeper.
Okay.
So, and that's all he wants to do. So we'll have him in a couple years over at Legacy.
Well, I was going to say Jackson makes an appearance or 2 in the footage that we're going to see later in this podcast. So, Jackson, if you're watching, hang on, you'll see yourself here in a little bit. A younger version of himself, though. Coach Wiersma, obviously you've been in the WFISD for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, the longest active tenured WFISD coach. So give us some backstory.
Well, let's go back to 1990. I got an invitation to come out and coach at Midwestern. So as a graduate assistant, I was here for 2 years and then went to Virginia. Was in Virginia for 2 years. But in between the 2 years, I got married to a wonderful girl, Delane. And after the 2 years in Virginia, got a call from my former preacher, Reggie Coe. And he said, hey, would you be interested in coaching girls soccer at the high school level? And Delane and I were both ready to move back to Texas. She's born in Lubbock. And we were both ready to get back, so we came back one summer and started interviewing and went to Keller, Southlake, a lot of different areas. And we just put it on the table that whoever was able to offer us both a job, then we would go there. And she's a physical education teacher, just retired a year ago. So that's what brought us back to Rider and to Wichita Falls.
So I always thought, and I mean, I'm a Rider graduate in 93. What year did the soccer program start? I thought you started the program, but I guess there was a year before you?
There were 2 years.
2 years, okay.
2 years. And after those 2 years, they were looking for a new coach, and fortunately, I got the call.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you've been here ever since. We're stuck with you, as they say.
Yeah, like a disease.
Come on now. Coach Wiersma, a lot of success though over the years with the Lady Raiders, and now trying to restart it up with the same but different, if that makes sense. The same being WFISD, but with Legacy. What was the transition like for you? And Dustin, you're going to get the same question too. But the transition from Rider to Legacy, what was it like, and how's it going?
It has been very good. The kids bought in last year in our first year of the program. They overachieved. We had a winning record, got to playoffs, and in the process beat Memorial. And those were things that nobody expected. I never expected it. So the kids have bought into the program. We're progressing well. And I'm really excited to be at Legacy and be able to start a program again.
How many of those hats have you gone through in your years at WFISD?
At least 10, maybe more.
They all the same exact one or what?
They pretty much are. Yeah.
It's an iconic look. As you watch this footage that we'll see of Coach Wiersma over the years, he has that same hat, but different shirt, different pants, different shoes on any given day. But the sun doesn't even have to be out. That's the thing. I feel like you always got the hat no matter what. Is that true?
Well, if I don't wear it, then I get questioned about it. So it's part of the apparel.
It comes with the territory.
I'm waiting to see Dustin Holly in one of those hats too.
Maybe that's something he's thinking of picking up. Dustin, let's go over to you. You're not a hat wearer as a head coach necessarily, but take me through the Rider to Legacy transition for you. What was it like?
So it was a lot of fun, just getting to build and start something new. What was weird for me was when we first started doing it. So I went going to Legacy. It was a lot. We only took a few Rider kids to Legacy, so it was a lot of Wichita Falls High kids, a lot of Hershey kids, and me and Bendel have talked about this sometimes. That first day, like walking into Old High, into that locker room, was hard. Even at Hershey, because it's like, hey, I'm now your coach, and there was a lot of trust that had to be built early. We talked about of merging people and teams and groups, and even one of the Old High kids brought it up. He's like, Coach, you're kind of the outsider here because we all know each other, and I was the new guy coming in. So our whole first semester was just gaining trust and getting to the season and playing games, and like some of the stuff you see here, that was built all in the fall of how we are, and we became a real tight group as the season went on, and then it has just overflown into this year with our guys and how they are. So it's been a lot of fun building. Like I said, getting them to trust what we're doing, trust each other, becoming a team. So that's been a lot of the fun early on.
So MJ, I got to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
That celebration, that game-winning goal shot. Do you have the huddle footage by chance where we can see Dustin Holly in the corner?
I can work on it over the course of this podcast.
Okay.
I don't have it readily available.
I believe he's on the ground, like kicking and dancing.
Yeah, Dustin, why don't you give us an explanation? I'm not sure I've ever gotten a chance to ask you about that.
Man,
he gets into the game.
So we did not, and the kids will tell you this too, our first half of district, we just didn't do what we expected to do. We played well, and we dropped a couple of games in Abilene that we feel like we should have won because we played well enough. And so we were up against it in the second half of district and knew we had to do this, knew we had to do that. And we did all these things. The Memorial played well in the second half of the second game of district, and it got down to it. We always thought we'd score a second goal. It's going to come, it's going to come. And then it was just slowly slipping away, and we get that final kick. And that really, if we would have lost the game that night, we would have potentially split the district with Memorial. So that thing with 10 seconds left put us still in the driver's seat to win it. And that was just being around the kids every day and with their emotions and all the pride they take in it. That was just it coming out.
This is it, Chad.
Yeah.
Just so happy for them. I tried to do a kick up to get up, and that didn't work. And then so it's okay. But no, it's just, you're with the kids all the time, and you care about them, and you love seeing them succeed. And even my little boy jokes that he didn't know what he ran on the field with the kids. I didn't notice that until after the game. But I was like, you were out there with the guys? He's like, I just went with them.
them. Wow.
But it's fun, and they put so much work into it. So just seeing them be successful is the fun part.
Yeah. Wow. I had kind of forgotten about that clip, Chad. Thanks for the reminder to re-bring.
And I guess that wasn't the same one. That was a different celebration, but still,
right.
Definitely two polar opposites as far as you're a little more wear your emotions on your sleeve on the sidelines, and you're a little bit more calm on the sidelines, I guess.
Just old.
Just old. Calm, maybe. I don't know if I can say this, unless maybe the officials are involved.
I've had a few bouts.
Bouts, good, yeah. Hasn't any good coach had a good bout with the official, though? And hasn't any good official had a good bout with the coach? Anyway, I'm an official.
I do want to ask that because we had this discussion a little bit earlier, not to get too much into the weeds on officials, but when you guys, do you kind of, is that linesman kind of your go-to guy if you have a...
The one on your side of the field, yeah?
Right, if you have, which I guess you guys are on the same side of the field, so I guess that one linesman that's hearing it from both of you. When you want to get a message to the referee like, hey, watch out for this or hey, watch out for that, what does that line of communication look like?
Yeah, you go first.
Well, you can try the linesman. That's, obviously the easiest thing. But bottom line, it doesn't really affect the game much what a coach says.
Gotcha.
Because the officials are set in what they're doing and they believe in themselves. So, you know.
Sometimes I'll just let them know as we talk, like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. And they sometimes, okay, yes, I kind of see that, or hey, like maybe watch number 5 or 6. Just watch. Obviously you can't do a whole lot being a linesman, but you can some stuff. They're like, oh, I see it now. I'll mention something to him in the middle. So just talking to him a little bit and just going with.
Because that's
it,
something that's always interested me. I mean, football, you always seem to have that open dialogue with the officials. Baseball, baseball and basketball and football especially, but baseball too. They kind of have that running dialogue. You don't see it as much in soccer or volleyball or some of those other sports where they seem to be a little bit shorter leashes, I guess, if you will. So
Let's jump into some 2025 legacy soccer because it starts this week, if you can believe it, folks. Chad kind of made the joke, can you believe it's soccer season? I say yes, but maybe sometimes I can't because just, football's still going for some schools, none in our area. But then, basketball has picked up before football even ends. Oh, don't forget swimming, by the way. And yeah, high school soccer is here as well. So I'm
it just shouldn't be soccer season when it's still 75 degrees outside.
That's Texas, though, right? I mean, it's 75 when it starts, and then by January it's 25, and then when it's over in whatever it is, April, it's 75 again. I'm going to pull up the Legacy Girls Soccer beautiful social media graphic. By the way, shout out whoever your social media folks are. They make my job so much easier.
That would be Lexi Jackson.
Lexi, thank you very much. Beautiful looking graphic. Coach Wiersma, 12-12 is game number 1. It looks like LCP, Lubbock Cooper Lady Pirates. Not necessarily that game, but just this season as a whole. What are you looking forward to from your Leopards?
Oh, man. We've got a good group. We've got some young players joining varsity for the first time. And everybody seems to be getting along well. So our culture is good right now. Every game, every day we practice, we're just trying to get better, do things a little bit better, more efficiently, and play as a team. And fortunately, we've got some good players that will add a little spice to the game. And we're just excited. We're going to work hard, and we're going to try and get a little better than we did last year.
Sure.
So I want to ask you a couple of, give us 2 or 3 players that you're expecting big things from this year, and also kind of what the district is looking like as far as those couple of teams that you're going to be battling with at the top there.
Okay. Grayson Phillips is one of our seniors. She's a senior captain. We're going to probably play her up front. Gabby Zaninga is another captain that we play in the back. And then Maggie Kettner is a senior captain that we're going to play in the midfield.
Okay.
As for the district?
As for our district had a little bit of a coaching change. The Abilene High coach went to Wiley, so there's a new Abilene High coach on the girls' side.
Okay.
Don't know anything about them. And that's who we really end up facing, big school, small school. It's us or Abilene High. And we got them last year, and we're hoping we can do it again this year.
Good deal.
I do want to ask because this kind of takes us back a few weeks ago on one of our podcasts. So
Okay.
we had a couple of volleyball players on a couple of months ago, and one of Legacy's volleyball players, Malia Chong, told us that she was coming out to play soccer for the first time ever. How is that development as a goalkeeper going?
First of all, she's a great kid. She adds to the culture so much. She's so excited. Even during volleyball season, she was going up to Midwestern on her own and working on it.
Wow.
She came in for summer workouts, our summer league she played, and I think she's still at the point where everything's really exciting to her still. And she's doing a great job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to bookmark that story, Chad, for maybe halfway through soccer season. Maybe she's got some...
Yeah, that was fun. Like I say, we had her on, and she was like, I've never played soccer before. They talked me into playing, and then I talked to Coach Jackson, and she's like, yeah, she's probably going to be our starting goalkeeper.
Let me tell you how that happened.
Okay.
So
Please do.
At the end of every year, going back years at Ryder, we would get the entire girls' sports programs together for a day, and we'd split them up into 3 teams, and we have a big game of handball in the gym. So last spring when we were playing, we're in the arena, hard floor, and Malia Chong is diving all over the place making these saves, and it was just incredible. So I pulled her aside afterwards and I said, have you ever played soccer? And of course we graduated Caden Grimes, so
Yeah.
Anyway, she said no, but she was interested, and she's done great.
That is so cool.
That's a couple. And not to get too far on last year's team, but that's another story too last year with Caden playing goalkeeper because she was never a goalkeeper before either. So it was always fun to see Caden playing goalkeeper, and then you'd have a penalty shot or whatever, and here would come Caden up to kick the penalty shots. So.
Yeah, she was a big part of our team last year.
That's an awesome story about Malia. It's gonna be fun to watch her develop and.
Well, and sorry to cut you off, Carl. I take it, Lexi being on staff. Lexi haven't played Midwestern. Is she kind of working with the goalkeepers for you, or is that something? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one of her main jobs is head goalkeeping coach.
Love it. Huh.
We're good.
Speaking of goalkeeping coaches, Dustin, you said you were one. Your son is one, so I'm sure you like goalies. Not just that position, but what does your Leopards roster look like? What names should we look out for this year?
So it is. I forgot how young we actually were last year
Sure.
until we got to the year. We are this group we have now. We have a couple seniors, but it is heavy junior and some sophomores. So this is kind of we've talked to them about it. This is kind of a 2-year type of group, which is rare sometimes in high school sports. But we have Chris Rios and Ricardo Juarez returning up top. I think Rios had 21 goals. Ricardo had 8, but Ricardo led the team in assists. You got Ricky Paniagua in the back, kind of anchoring our back line. Thomas Castro is our junior goalkeeper. Jesus Hernandez, Leland Chavaria. It is. We did something the other day, kind of looking at a starting 11, and it was 10 juniors, 1 sophomore, and then we had some dudes come off the bench. So it is. Maturity was something I wondered coming into how it would be just because we were so young last year. But those dudes, it has been such just a. They want to win and they're hungry, and it's our group maturity has been so awesome this year, and we have like team leaders. Obviously, you lose the seniors, somebody needs to step up, and we have kids stepped up, and I'm excited for what we can do.
What does it look like from a coaching perspective when your top goal scorer is returning and you don't have to worry about who's going to find the back of the net? It's Chris.
It's good. It's this. Then it's after that. It's like we got Chris, and it's like who else can do? We got to find some other options because everybody knows. I said Chris. 21 goals, but everybody knows that coming in. I'm sure Lubbock Cooper knows that coming in Friday. Who to watch? So just creating more kids that can score. Like Ricardo does he'll have, I bet we'll get into at least the double digits in goals this year. And then with like Jesus and Leland, we got another freshman kid, Celso Vera, that'll be in the middle for us that can hit it from anywhere. So that's the thing now is just create more goal scorers to help us out when we're going forward.
How about your district? What's your district looking like?
It'll be very tight like it was last year. So last year it was kind of anybody could. We had some weird results as it went. Abilene High got a new coach. They've been in a 4-3-3 forever with their old coach. So we'll see how that changes. Wiley got a new coach, but they'll be competitive. Cooper, I think, is the team that nobody's talking about. They were young and had some dudes kind of move in that were on the JV that were very good that they just weren't. That kind of had to sit out a year. So Cooper's the team that I kind of have circled to watch early on what they can do. So it'll be, and then Memorial as well has a good group back. So it'll be very interesting as we go.
So I have 2 questions for both of you guys. The first one kind of relates to the merger a little bit, and you talked a little bit about inheriting kids from other schools. How weird was it last year that first time you guys played Memorial, and you're looking on the other bench, and those are kids that were yours. Those were kids that you developed. Those were kids that. Obviously you want to beat Memorial, but obviously you still have a fondness for a lot of those kids too. So just talk about the weirdness a little bit last year, especially seeing your kids, quote unquote, on that other bench.
You got it.
Yeah, it was definitely strange, and you wish the best for them because they were yours and you helped develop them. But on the other hand, you got to get a victory and get a result against them. So it was an interesting situation that I don't know we'll ever see again.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, the kids handled it well, and everything went as planned.
It's kind of the hard part for me was like with my seniors, the kids that were seniors, I say mine, but the kids that were seniors at Memorial last year, I had for 3 years.
Right.
So you had those relationships, and then you see them. Obviously, you see them pregame. You're not talking a whole lot, and that was where you kind of want to go over and talk to them. But everybody's ready for the game, and even during the game, we had so many kids from Ryder play at Memorial that I've had And when you get into the emotions of the game, it was hard to coach against them. And then, like I said, we did well, but it was just different. And listen, I've had some of those seniors like reached out to me this summer with the stuff we had going on. They're great kids, but in those moments, it was hard to. I'm happy with what we did, but
Right.
I mean, I love those kids too.
And that's the great thing with where we're at right now is the teams are district opponents, so you get to have that rivalry with them. But right now, with the enrollment numbers where they are, Legacy will always go Division I, and Memorial will always go Division II. So you can want to beat them up during the season, but then hope both of you win a state championship.
There you go.
When it's all said and done. And then my other question was, a big change this year is moving on campus, playing your home games on campus. Just talk a little bit about being able to play in that, and kind of having a home environment, if you will, to play on, being able to play at home, literally at home.
Well, I think it's going to be super exciting, especially for our faculty and our student body.
Yeah.
All they got to do is walk out the door and they're there. So we're really looking forward to that and building a culture where, hey, it's pretty fun to come to a soccer game. And I got to give Dustin a ton of credit. He's gotten some banners going, and we're really dressing up the place for soccer, and it's a neat vibe going.
I forgot about that, Chad, that they will now play on campus. So and this is maybe just a clerical question, is anything happening soccer-wise at Memorial Stadium?
So when you guys play each other, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Legacy Memorial game itself will still be at the stadium just for size purposes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So-
and our United Invitational will be at Memorial.
Okay.
Got it. Perfect. So the
No,
tournament.
I think I'm excited for the first night. Me and Coach Law and Coach Crouch have talked about it. One of those nights, I think there's a couple overlaps where it's basketball, soccer, and baseball, possibly softball, all on campus that night.
Wow.
And so I think
We need to get some tennis kids out there too and turn all those lights on and get the drone out.
We've talked about I know it
That's awesome.
probably can or cannot be done, probably not this year, but like one hybrid ticket to get you into everything when you're out there. So in between games and soccer, we got about 20, 30 minutes. You can pop into the basketball gym or maybe slide down from baseball and watch a little bit of soccer. So it'll be super cool to have that going on, because I've never been at something like that atmosphere.
And that's one thing I do want to do is one night when there's stuff going on at every place, get all those lights on, get that drone out there, and
we're trying to
footage.
make our stadium look kind of like it. Like I said, we've gotten some banners and stuff, and we're going to try to do a few things to make it look soccer specific.
Awesome.
And just do it for the kids. I think it'll be real cool. Some of the plans we have should be pretty neat.
Have a couple extra balls ready, because when those balls go flying,
Well, they finally
the
got
other way or
that
whatever.
fence fixed, because
Okay.
if not, we kicked one to the baseball field one day. And I even told the fence guys, I said, I know we should put them in the back of the net, but sometimes we don't. And it went all past the tennis court. And the kid was gone for 5 minutes. I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
But he was like, Coach, it's on the baseball field. So
I think that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Just to, obviously we love our stadium, but that's a little cavernous when you start talking about playing a soccer match on it. So being able to move those home and getting to play at home is going to be a cool experience, I think.
One of the things we like to talk to our guests on this podcast about is just their day-to-day, right? So you guys are teaching, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're both teachers where, with the football coaches, that's not necessarily the case. With the band folks, it's a little bit different as far as when they're rehearsing and when they're in the classroom. But on a day-to-day basis at Legacy High School, Coach Wiersma, we'll start with you. What does your day-to-day look like? I guess during soccer season is probably a better way to answer that question.
Well, you may not know this, but my day starts at Zundy Elementary.
I didn't.
I'm a physical education teacher there. So
I didn't know that till I saw him there one day. Full disclosure.
So I love it. Love working with the kids. Then I get to come over at lunch and get two periods with the soccer program, JV 7th and varsity 8th. So my job is wonderful. It couldn't be any better.
Coach Hawley, what does a day-to-day look like for you?
So I'm in the PACE program, 1st through 4th, and that is it's kind of the kids that it's like a recovery program. So
Okay.
credit recovery. So it's maybe some of the kids that were absent and missed some classes when they were younger and trying to get caught up, or maybe you failed the class and now you're trying to get caught up and get back in, or situations, family situations, when you have to graduate early. So those kids are all in there. everybody. Like my first period's about 24 kids, and they're all in there for different reasons. So getting to know them, getting to talk to them. I got a group of guys. We talk about football every Monday morning for a few minutes, get class going. Like I said, they're all good kids with their own situations trying to get done. So I do that 1st through 4. I got soccer 5th, and then I go back to pace 6th, 7th, and then soccer 8th. So it's my day. Once I get to 5th period, it's kind of like a roller coaster downhill. But I do enjoy my kids and students in the morning and getting to know them. And we graduate a lot of the kids that are trying to get graduated or get back on course, and to see them do that and graduate, it's an awesome feeling to help them out.
Absolutely. So I do have one more question before we move on to non-legacy soccer discussion. So Rohan, does he play soccer?
He's not going to play this year.
Okay. Well, we did ask Trey about him because I know you and Trey he was kind of your own little personal pincushion for football season a little bit. Just talk about kind of what it was like, working with Rohan, but adding some of the extra accessories that you guys did and how much fun you guys had with that a little bit.
So Rohan's a great kid, and he's a great sport as well. And so we get out to that first, I guess they played Lubbock Coronado. Rohan, all he's going to do is kick and punt.
This is a kid that, if y'all have watched our podcast in the past, he knew nothing about football when he stepped on foot at Legacy High School.
No, he's from, is it Holland? I think he's from Holland. So playing football this last year, going to kick, and he had a great leg. But we go out there and we watch him, and he has one of the big back flaps on. And I was like, why? What are we doing, Rohan? So we started talking. He's like our personal Build-A-Player. So every week we tried to, and Rohan was a great sport, we tried to add things every week. Like we added gloves to him. I think he had like sleeves and the eye black. So, and we tried to get a visor, but we were afraid if something happened that Coach Davis would be so mad if he was kicking in a visor and missed.
Yeah.
So we never could get to we wanted to do a cowboy collar for the, almost like an old Bosworth looking guy for the Memorial game. But Rohan finally kicked back. He's like, Coach, I can't wear all this
You
stuff.
could have done the Dalton Schultz, the little bitty little neck thing.
But he was a great sport about it. And then we would always tease him about some things. We got to get this on you. He's like, Coach, I'm wearing enough. Look at me. So he was a good sport, and I'm happy he did super well.
Yeah, he did. He had a great year. I would text Dustin and Trey every home game, like as I would be looking, okay, what accessories new, or whatever. So.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, when I'm out there filming a game, the kicker is not the first one I'm getting footage of, unless he's kicking a game-winning field goal.
Right.
So some of that might have went over my head, but I'm glad that he played along, because that just makes it that much more fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chad, by the way, I should have said this at the top of the show. Forgot. We are sitting next to the 2025 Next Star Sports Awards Large School Coach of the Year finalist, Dustin Hawley.
Oh, okay.
And the 2024 Next Star Sports Awards Large School Coach of the Year winner, Carl Wiersma. So we're in a league company, is what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And yes, maybe that is a self-promotion for Next Star Sports Awards, but they're right here. I just had to do it.
No, that was a good time. Like I said, I got to go with Coach last year when he won it, and then getting to be nominated this year was all. I mean, it was, y'all do a great job with that, and it's so cool to be at and see. I mean, all the stories and all the players and coaches. So it's real cool to be.
Why didn't Coach Hawley win it? I demand a recount.
Who did win it? It was you.
Graham.
Oh yes, Graham Football Claymore Christian.
Not that he remembers or anything.
And the best was, I think, me and Coach Law were both on it too.
Yes, you were.
So we both were, hey, I hope you win. Hey, I hope you win. But I really wanted to win. But no, if it couldn't have been me, I was happy it was Trey. But it was Graham, so we both were okay.
Yeah, sure.
Or not okay, if you will.
Yeah, that works too. Sorry. Okay. Wish I didn't bring that up.
Real quick
now.
editorial note: we have Legacy on this week. Our goal is to have Memorial next week. So you Memorial fans,
stay tuned.
You will get your week next week. So
guys, I want to talk college and professional soccer because it's not something I'm well versed in. But first things first, I want to start locally because it's actually current news. Midwestern State men's soccer has advanced to the Final Four. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow, as we record, I'm getting on a plane going to Colorado to cover the Final Four for the men's D2. So I'm looking forward to that. And
don't you feel bad for MJ going to Colorado Springs?
I think you should drive.
No, I won't be doing that 9.5-hour drive. Thank you very much. But I say all that to say, I know you guys both, I've seen you, you have players that go on to play at Midwestern State. You go to Midwestern events yourself. I'm just curious, have you gotten to see any of the MSU men's soccer team this year? And if so, what have you seen?
I think for me, with the guys, they have peaked at the right time.
Yes.
I mean, I know the couple right in the middle, couple ties, or I think that last minute loss there at home.
Yep, UT Dallas.
It was just kind of hard, but man, they are peaking and playing some good teams and playing well. And then I think they play a team from New Hampshire coming
Yes,
in.
sir.
Is that correct?
Southern New
which
Hampshire
I think,
University.
Looking at them, I think we can do well. And then I wonder about the altitude. Not really for us because we go up there and play in it. So there's a lot of factors that I think play in our favor with the Final Four being actually in Colorado. So super, I mean, I think it's winnable.
I love it. It would be the first national championship in school history. Carl, what have you seen from the Mustangs?
The biggest thing, my biggest takeaway is how they have been resilient. They've fought through tough situations, scoring in the last 15 seconds and in the playoffs. So I think their character is where it needs to be, and Coach has got them going in the right direction.
Good deal. Good luck to the Mustangs. I hope they win because it makes my job more fun when I'm up there covering them. Like to cover wins, not losses, right? So good luck to the Mustangs.
And you did mention they've never won a national championship, but I'm an old man, so I go back into the days when they were playing for NAI national championships, what seemed like every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was like 4 out of an 8-year stretch they played, including back-to-back years in 84 and 85, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me throw a little info in there.
Here we go.
When I came in 90, we replaced Howard Patterson. The head coach was Nathan Pfeiffer. He brought me in as an assistant. But they had been to the national championship 13 years in a row.
Yeah.
And talk about pressure trying to get them back. And fortunately, we did both years, but they were there at least 13 years.
And those were
15.
And those were fun because back then we hosted that national tournament more often than not. So
Good deal. Good deal. Well, they have an individual NCAA champion in Brennan Moore, women's golf 2015, but they've never had the team championship. So perhaps this is their third time making the NCAA Final Four. Perhaps third time is the charm. Anyway, under professional and maybe D1 soccer. Take the question however you guys want to. I'm curious, what do you guys like to watch? When you're watching soccer on television, well, A, do you watch soccer on television? Probably a dumb question. I'm sure you do. But me, I don't watch a lot of soccer on TV. Tobin has it on in the sports office all the time. But Coach Hawley, what do you like to watch when it comes to television soccer?
Oh, man, I'm one of those guys I don't like to watch. No,
Okay.
I'm a huge football guy,
Yep.
so I love college and pro football. I love college basketball. I will watch if it's if it's national teams playing, I will watch that. But like the MLS, you have to kind of pin me down on a Saturday to watch an EPL game unless it's close to the end of the season. And Champions League, it's on during the school day, so it's kind of hard. And I'm not real big on recording something and watching it just because I'll somehow figure it out before I get
and
there.
EPL's at like 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning too. It's early.
And then so I just love my football. I love my basketball. I'm a big Cubs fan for baseball, but soccer it's hard.
It is, especially in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hate to be that way, but I'm around it so much that I kind of have my own releases with the other sports.
Sure. You'll watch the World Cup in the United States next summer?
Oh, yes. I'll watch it out like a European Cup, even like a Women's Euro or whatever. I'll watch it. Any of the big cups, I'm in on all the games. So.
Sure.
I'll tell you an hour of my time I could never get back, and that was the World Cup draw.
Chad, this podcast is not to rant and rave. Come on.
Man.
Anyway, Carl, do you watch any soccer on TV?
Mostly national teams, women and men's.
Okay.
I'll catch some games occasionally, but kind of like Dustin, you live it, you breathe it.
Yes.
You need to decompress at times.
Amen. I feel that way just about sports in general sometimes. I'm 24/7 sports. Sometimes I go home and I watch anything but sports occasionally,
And when Dustin says he's a sports fan, I've never been to Dustin's house, but I've seen pictures. This guy has the ultimate sports fan's dream. 'Cause he's got, what do you have, 4 TVs on the wall?
We have 3.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's kind of an angled. It's a bigger wall and 2 angled on the sides, and so I think we have like a 75 in the middle and 2 50-somethings on the edges.
So you're not missing many things that you want to see.
Whatever you want to watch.
Dustin's got his own multi-view. He doesn't need YouTube for his multi-view.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. I love it. Well, then, if that's the case, let's talk a little bit of football. Coach Hawley, do you want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys or the college football playoff?
Let's go college football playoff.
Okay. Yeah. Not a lot of people want to talk about the Cowboys. Don't tell anyone I said that. Chad, I know you have, thoughts on the college football playoff. We don't need to get into all of them as far as snubs and in and out, but
I don't care about the college football playoff. Oklahoma State's got a new coach.
my goodness gracious, this is a train wreck. I was gonna ask who do you want to win the college football playoff?
I mean, I think I'd be crazy. I think I'd be crazy being a Wichita Falls guy, and I'm going to go on a limb and say these guys are probably going to agree with me. But I think we're all J-Rod fans at this point in time, even if we're not Tech fans. But I do like Tech. I'm a Big 12 fan. I do like Tech, and I'm obviously a huge J-Rod fan. So I am, and that's not just a heart pick. I think Tech. You know, people want to knock the conference they've played in, but they've beaten every team, every game they've won, which they've only lost one. But they're averaging 20-plus point victories in every game they've won, so they look solid, man.
So you're on the Red Raider bandwagon, okay? Coach Hawley, who are you rooting for to win the college football playoff?
I'd be good with Tech, but so I'm kind of an Indiana guy. Just go right back in Texarkana. One of our big family friends I had, they went there a little bit back in the day and kind of do the basketball heydays and stuff. So he'd invite me over. His name's Jeff McGuire. He'd invite me over to cook out during all the basketball games, and that's what I kind of got. I was kind of a fan by just he brought me into it. So
Yeah.
I've got the Indiana Hoosier warm up pants. I got a bunch of Indiana stuff. So to see them, we never really watched football games back then, but now it's
and what a story, man! And what he's done in 2 years,
he's awesome. Like yes, so and he knows it.
And
too.
he's not lacking in confidence. No,
but something like that when you've been that bad for so long, you need.
I didn't know
like
till the other day they said Indiana is the losingest college football program in college football. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that until the other day when they were talking about it.
So Tech or Indiana, I'm good with. I do kind of follow Dion at Colorado, so I would like that, but maybe we'll see. But
how did you not get J-Rod on the soccer field? Dude was good at everything you played.
He was
playing basketball to this time of year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was doing it and baseball too, so it was kind of hard to poke in. Yeah.
I didn't know that he was a state champion wrestler in Minnesota before as like a young kid. So
yeah,
I didn't know that either.
If we can get, like I said, Indiana and Texas Tech, if we get them that semifinal, I'll be happy with who can get there.
Sure. Carl, do you have a horse in this race?
Not so much. I do like Tech. I hope J-Rod he was phenomenal all through his career. I've also liked Ohio State because we had a former quarterback at Rider that went there and did really well.
Sure did. I am actually on the Ohio State bandwagon too, not necessarily because of JT Barrett, because I wasn't in Wichita Falls at the time, but I told this story before on our podcast. My first ever big-time college football game was in Columbus at the Horseshoe watching Ohio State. I think they played Nebraska. And that's because my buddy went to Ohio State. So I kind of, like Dustin, am adopted Ohio State fan. I will say I was a fan before they won the national championship last year, okay? Not before they won the ones in the past, but before they won last year. So I'm riding with the Buckeyes. I really don't have too much stake in this college football playoff. But of course, I'm going to watch every game.
Do y'all want to see 16 teams, or are you cool with 12?
I want 24.
24. Every other sport does it. I would be fine with
Here's
16.
the thing with 24. Eliminate the conference championship game. And I think even Joey McGuire talked about this right now. Right now, college football still has that week 0, which high school football used to have, but they've kind of week 0 is now week 1. Push that season back. Everybody plays week 1. Eliminate conference title games. Start your playoffs Thanksgiving weekend. It still gives you about a 10-day break, and have your national championship game on New Year's Day.
Yeah, but I hate for Texas Tech and Indiana, they have to wait 3 weeks to play, which I mean
it's always been the dumbest thing with college football. But I mean that way, I don't know. 24, you get 4 automatics from each conference, and then I think that gives you. I think the way that one person I saw still gives you 2 group of 5s and then like 6 at-larges. And then I don't want to hear the 25th team complain that they didn't get put in. I think 16 is better than 12. I think 12. I think every step has gotten better. Yeah. I believe. I think they should take the committee out of it. I wouldn't mind the BCS formula even at 12. I wouldn't mind the BCS formula because at least it takes the human element and the benefit that all these people are trying to their own human benefits. So I don't know.
Chad, I want to transition into our Coach's Corner segment and ask these guys. Coach Hawley actually touched on it a little bit earlier in the podcast when he said whatever team he was talking about plays 4-3-3 forever. It's about formations in soccer. And if you're not a soccer person, like me, I'm a peripheral soccer person. Sometimes I don't understand it other than maybe playing on a video game. So can you kind of break it down for us, sprinkle a little bit of your coaching, teaching to our audience, different formations in soccer, and really you don't have to get into the deep, analysis of it, but what are the reasons for playing one way versus the other, the pros, the cons, the advantages, etc.? Coach Hawley, we'll start with you on this one.
Okay, I big, like I said, growing up at Ryder, we did a lot of 4-3-3, which very successful with. I think you have to have the right players with that, though, sometimes. I have come to this. Me and the Mount Pleasant coach, I was a kind of 4-4-2 at Texas High. We kind of played with the diamond in the middle, but getting to be friends with the Mount Pleasant coach, the boys soccer coach when I was out there in East Texas, he plays a 3-5-2, a little unorthodox with his three backs. He drops them so far when they lose the ball, and so I always took notes on it because you have to have three real good backs. And when we got to Ryder, that's what we did, and especially with some of the depth and the teams we have, it worked. And then it worked last year at Legacy. But like I said, I like having a 4-3-3 and different stuff. But that 3-5-2, even we should have beat Friendship last year. We kind of tied them in the last few seconds, or they got us on like an own goal. But their coach was like, it is very unorthodox and it's very hard to please. Like, your backs are very different than what we were looking at doing. So he was like, I liked it. And they were bigger. They were huge. But we played with them, real good 6A team. So I like having that in my back pocket. But yeah, so.
So just to clarify, 4-3-3, that's four backs, three midfielders, three strikers,
yes,
three forwards.
Yep.
Okay.
Carl, is that well? I guess first off, does that change with the men's game versus the women's game, or is it personnel based regardless of gender?
I think it's personnel based regardless, and you got to have the horses to play certain formations. So we have always we played a 4-3-3 for years at Ryder, and it worked, and we were successful. One interesting thing about that was Ants and Durants. You would think with three forwards you're playing more of an attacking role. You get more people closer to the goal so you can score more goals. He used it defensively to where he'd have his three forwards really putting pressure on their defenders and marking up and trying to prevent that exit out of the back. So we transitioned from a 4-3-3 to a 3-5-2. And again, it just depends on your personnel, your speed, your technical ability, how organized your kids are. So right now we're in a 3-5-2.
Do you guys, is there ever a case where you change during a game? Based on, okay, we've got to be more attacking or we've got to be more defensive?
Yeah, like we like last year, sometimes we'd get late and we would drop to a fourth defender, or we'd hold one of those five in the middle back, almost not really stopper sweeperish, but we'd hold somebody back just to help us out, especially, like I said, late or if you're up. This year, through our scrimmages, we're going to look at a few things just to kind of see what works, and then if we can change on the fly.
So what position on the field, for lack of a better term, who's the quarterback? Who does everybody kind of run through? Is it center midfielder? Is it? Do y'all have a position that everything kind of runs through that kind of controls the aspect of the game, if you will?
Ours right now is kind of our center back, Ricky, and then last year was kind of center midfielder, Marco. Marco and Ricky did a good job. Like I said, we're waiting for one of those center mids this year to kind of step, which that'll happen once games start. But Ricky Paniagua does a real good job from our center back role. So, and then Chris is up top. I know he's up top and kind of away from stuff, but he does a good job just from up front. But leading from the back is usually how we do it. So,
who's going to break the silence?
It's your turn.
Okay. I'm kind of the same way. Our center back sees everything in front of her and should, and most of the time does, orchestrate our defense and our attack. Sometimes it can be a central midfield player. We ask an attacking mid to organize the attack when we get into the offensive third. sometimes it can be a goalkeeper. You know, if they have the experience, they get people in the right positions and know where to play the ball, when to play the ball. So, again, it just depends on personnel. And, yeah, we'll change things up to fit the circumstances. You know, one thing about Texas, it's a little windy out here.
Oh, you don't say.
So,
you don't say. Yeah.
Sometimes that factors into the
I've never
formations as
seen
well.
the wind affect a game at Memorial Stadium.
Lies. Every game is affected.
You always have it, and it's always either north or south, usually. So that means it's one direction or the other on the field.
Second Memorial game, we had to move last year, and I think our whole district had agreed that no matter what happens, we were playing on that Tuesday night. And the wind was so bad. Even I remember like Freeman.
that was insane. Yes.
Freeman and Bindle. I know Davis was in transition or still coming in. They were like, we can't move it. The district's going to make you play. But the goals wouldn't. They had over. It was almost 1,000 pounds of weights on one of those.
And they were
goals,
still moving.
It was still moving. And finally, Bindle had to, I think, call Garfield's like, it can't happen. Like it can't. Like it's the referee said it can't happen. And so we moved it. But it was, I know me and Adam were out there, and it was like coming a good 2 feet off the ground up against that field goal post. But it was, I've never seen it that way. So
We're just trying to play a game, Mother Nature. Come on now. All right. Well, we're coming up on our allotted time here. So, Chad, anything else you got for these two gentlemen?
No, I want to thank you guys for coming and wish you guys a great season. And soccer's always been a strong suit in Wichita Falls, and I don't see any reason for that not to be excited about all of our soccer teams in the school district. So.
Thanks for having us.
good. Yep.
And you guys said Lubbock Cooper's in town on Friday. You mentioned the tournament. Do we know the dates on the United Invitational tournaments?
Yes, it's the second weekend. I believe it's the 8th through the 10th.
It's on your calendar there. It was the one that had the WFISD logo.
Ah,
It
yes.
was on the schedule you posted.
Yes, I do have that. Thank you.
And then the boys that same weekend were at the MSU. MSU hosted tournament on the guys and has done a good job.
Sure.
So we'll be over at MSU. So a lot of soccer in town that weekend.
Okay.
How much
yes.
fun is it playing at that practice field at MSU that has no bleachers? I've seen a few games out there, and it's old school, like little league, pull up your lawn chairs and.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's just the kids love that game field. And so Meacham tries to keep us a couple. He's like, I can't put you on all 3 games here, so we have to go over to the practice field. But the kids like it too. And some of we've played some JV games there, and some of those kids have never played. I mean, they're freshman kids, never played at MSU, so they love just getting to go over there. So it's neat. And then your parents are right there on the sidelines in the lawn chairs, so it's a neat experience for them too.
So that's that same weekend. So out at Memorial Stadium will be the girls, the 8th through the 10th of January, and then over on the campus of Midwestern State will be the boys for, what is it called, the MSU Invitational? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, the MSU
And it got
Invitational.
snow. I think y'all's got snowed out last year.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
And MSU still. It's kind of weird how the ISD rules, like MSU said they're still going to host it, but because
Right.
it was an ISD tournament, like coach had to cancel here. So it was wild last year with that snow.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'm not ready for the cold weather yet. We got to get through the holidays first anyways. Do us a favor, follow us on social medias. You got our handle right here in the bottom right corner of this graphic, at WFISD Athletics on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Of course, want to thank our sponsor as well, Macaulay Landscapes. Visit them online, MacaulayLandscapes.com, or pick up the phone and give them a call, 940-632-5346. Coaches, thanks so much for cutting an hour and a half out of your day to come talk to us. Chad, thanks for another episode 12, or another edition. It happens to be episode 12 of Inside WFISD Athletics. And to all the folks watching and listening at home, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week on Inside WFISD Athletics.